Okay, it's October the 30th, I think, 30th. Today's video and the readings, we had two articles on using the digital arena as a platform for activism. And the two articles were interesting, mostly because they were kind of at odds with each other. The first one was about the concept of activism versus slacktivism. I mean, I never heard that term before. I don't know if it's a newly emerging word, but it's very appropriate. I've talked in some of my previous posts about people who use their digital presence for narcissistic purposes, and this article actually touched on that quite a bit. But the second article talked about how using the digital platform, like social media and the internet, to further a cause is actually can be an equalizer, because there's not a cost associated with it. It's nimble and it's more inclusive because of that. So the slacktivism article talked about several different premises of how people use the internet, specifically social media, the ways that they use it to further themselves versus furthering a cause. And that goes from everything from liking something on Facebook and thinking that you're being an activist, to openly contributing to charities and things like GoFundMe, where you can choose to be an anonymous donor, or you can choose for people to see your identity. And more often than not, people choose for other people to see their identity. So then you have to wonder whether what they're doing is really altruistic, or there's the other argument that if you're visible about making a difference in things, then you can potentially be encouraging others to do it, either through guilting them into being involved in a social cause, or maybe maybe you recognize that other people are more interested in the concept of keeping up with the Joneses. So that was the first article. So the second article talked about a couple of different concepts, but all related to the positive ways that using social media and other frameworks in a digital platform is an equalizer, because some people are left out of activism because of the cost. There is a cost with being an activist, whether it's if you're out there doing activism and you're picketing, then you're giving up opportunities to work, or potentially you're losing your job. And people know who you are, and maybe that's going to cost you further jobs. A digital platform can be anonymous, B, doesn't take the time out of work or family life that you might need to put in there, and C, there's no outward cost associated with it. For all intents and purposes, that platform is free. Now, it did discuss, and I thought it was really important, the fact that not everyone has the same kind of access to the internet, at least not in the same ways, to the same degrees, to the same speeds. As a matter of fact, I transferred from Palo Alto Community College, and over 25% of our students didn't have internet access at home. And some of that is because they lived in rural areas, but some of it is because they couldn't afford internet at home. So we had access at school, and we had libraries and things like that, but that still doesn't create an equitable playing field when you're talking about access that students have across the school landscape. And so there are the same kind of discussions where it relates to not everyone not having internet access that they can use for social activism. So those two articles I really enjoyed, and they were pretty easy reading, and they had really good links to their source documentation. So I really appreciated that too. Thanks.